morning. It's the 28th, the last day of the month of February. This is WGTV Today. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best. Good morning.
Thank you for being with us. Last day of the month. I can't believe tomorrow is the beginning of March. Wow.
That's right. I'm telling you what, February just flew by.
Yeah, and speaking of flying by, how do you like the way we fly into the room?
We do. Yeah, that just happens, and I love it.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
We hope you like the new set.
Yeah.
We're constantly trying new things to make it new and improved, and we want to hear from you.
I spent hundreds and hundreds of
hours,
minutes, maybe seconds working on it. Okay, hours. I'll take that. But hey, thanks for being with us today.
That's exactly right. On today's show, we have quite a few interviews. We're going to hear from Police Chief Jeff Stewart to hear more about Goldsboro Partners Against Crime, GPAC.
Yeah.
We want you to stay informed on a regular basis on what's happening with our fight against crime here in our community.
Yeah, we'll also hear from the Paramount Theater and others as well.
A couple others.
Yeah, that's coming up here on today's program. Looking forward to that as well. Well, coming up, I want to mention again very quickly the Rudolfo Anayo's book, Bless Me Ultima. That's the book
Wayne
for
County
Wayne County Reads. That's right. The next event, well, there is one tonight. The terrarium building that I mentioned yesterday. That's tonight at the Wayne County Public Library and Wheel Auditorium there. But then again this Saturday, the festival to celebrate Latino culture for all ages and ethnicities coming up March 2nd, that's this Saturday from 2 until 5 p.m. at Wayne Center. Now, Wayne Center is at the corner of George and Chestnut Streets in Goldsboro. Corner of George Street and Chestnut Street. It's that long brick building, plenty of parking in back, and you'll enjoy that. That's at Wayne Center, the festival to celebrate Latino culture this Saturday, 2 till 5 p.m.
That's exactly right.
By the way, you want to know more about Wayne County Reads, you can go to the website, waynecountyreads.com.
That's right. I want you to save the date, April 12th and 13th for Pig in the Park.
Oh, boy.
It's a big fundraiser at Waynesboro Park, and all the benefits go to help the Boys and Girls Club of Wayne County. Yeah. They have a website, piginthepark.com, where you can learn more information about it, but it'll be a family-friendly event to spotlight Wayne County's history as well as its barbecue tradition. We'd love to see you there. There'll be activities for children, food, music, all kinds of things happening throughout that day.
Oh boy.
So Waynesboro Park, April 12th and 13th. Come join us.
Yes, come join us. And speaking of the Wayne County Public Library,
yes,
they're updating their IT system, their computer system, updating that. They're changing their policies, their loan policies. There's some changes being made, and it's all for the better.
That's right.
You may encounter a hitch, or perhaps even a bump, but that's okay because they're going to make it easier for you to do the things you want to do at the Wayne County Public Library. So have a little patience with them, work with them on this. You may encounter nothing at all, no problem at all, but just be aware that if you do, it's simply something's happened. You know, when you're making changes, and they're making the library a better place. So work with them on that.
Well, you know, Wayne, we talk about all the time how we want people, if they are ready for a pet, to go right here locally. We have so many different places that they can go and adopt a pet.
Yes.
We talk about them on a regular basis. We want to keep you up to date on that. But we have a few questions that you should ask yourself before you adopt a pet to make sure you're home and you are ready to bring that pet at home with you and your environment is ready. Okay, like what? One of the questions is, what will your life be like in 5 or even 10 years?
Oh boy.
Because a dog or a cat can live 15 years or more. So envisioning how pet-friendly your life will be in the future is very important. Will you be adopting a pet by yourself or with someone?
Oh boy.
Because if you have a roommate or a spouse, make sure that he or she is totally committed to having a pet. Now that's very important.
That is important.
Because you don't want it to be a one-sided environment.
That's right.
How much time can you dedicate to your pet each day? Can you afford to own your own pet? Even if the cost of the pet itself is not very expensive, you will need to factor in food, supplies, vet visits, which can be costly. Do you have support from others if you're working late or traveling? You know, you need to think about that. If you've got someone who can come over and watch your pet, or if you're going to need to board your pet.
Yeah, and my pets are always bored.
They're bored.
Constantly.
How much household destruction can you tolerate?
Quite a bit.
Can you?
I'm pretty destructive, you know.
And if you already have a pet, is that animal likely to accept a new housemate? I know I've run into that before. That's interesting.
That's right.
What do you hope to get out of the relationship? Too many pet owners get a big dog only to complain that the dog is difficult to travel with, while others regret getting a small dog when what they really want is a running partner. So think about what you want to do with that pet.
Those are really good things to consider there while you're considering a pet. And the thing is that if you're looking for a lap dog, don't get a Saint Bernard.
Exactly.
Right? Because that would require a big lap.
Think about what you want to do with this pet.
Yes.
Through the years.
Think about it through the years and down the road there a piece. So
that's exactly right.
And if you're getting a large dog, please
make sure you've got an area for that dog to exercise.
Exactly what I was going to say.
If not, go to the dog park at Stony Creek Park. We have a great dog park there where you can take your dog to run.
That's right.
And play with others.
Have
a play date.
And have your dog play with others too.
Have a play date.
And have a play date.
That's right.
That's nice. All right, the Literacy Connection in Wayne County, they need volunteers. They need volunteers badly because some people have trouble reading.
And we're a volunteer community.
That's exactly right. So if you have at least 2 hours a week you can volunteer, they can certainly use your help. Illiteracy crosses all boundaries.
Yes, it does.
And people need help, whether it's with what's the I'm trying to think of some of the conditions that some people have.
Oh, dyslexia.
Dyslexia, thank you.
Yes.
See, and also bad memories as well. They need help with that as well. So if you have time that you can help and you can afford a couple of hours a week, they can certainly use your help at the Literacy Connection. You need to talk to Pat, and Pat Yates is at pat.yates@waynegov.com. Pat.Yates, Y-A-T-E-S, at waynegov.com. They could certainly use your help.
Yes, they could.
Yes.
Today, if you're in the Mount Olive area,
today,
go by Southern Bank. They would love for you to come and join their blood drive. Give the gift of life.
Yes.
That starts today at 1:30 this afternoon. It'll last until 6 p.m. At the Mount Olive Southern Bank and Trust. Let's see. They'll also be offering it at Mount Olive Presbyterian Church today, those same times, 1:30 until 6. That's right there on Brazil Avenue, 105 North Brazil Avenue.
Yeah, let's see.
If you're in Mount Olive.
Southern Bank is right up the street from Best Used Cars, I believe, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I think it is, yes.
Yes, it is. Mount Olive Presbyterian Church is right down the street a little ways, too.
There you go.
So if you're in the Mount Olive area, they'd love for you to come by and give blood today.
There you go. Make a deposit.
That's right.
Deposit a unit of blood. Hey.
That's a good one, Wayne.
Thank you. All right. Let's see what else we have. Again, a quick reminder, this is a big deal going on now. The animals, the Junior Livestock Show and Sale taking place at the Wayne Regional Fairgrounds. Talking with Eileen Coit and Eddie Pitzer and some of the folks there associated with the Livestock Association here in Wayne County. This is an enormous event for young people who have taken it upon themselves the responsibility of growing these farm animals and then raising them and priming them to be shown and sold at this Junior Livestock Show and Sale. Coming up April 3rd and 4th, and it's free of charge just to go and watch.
That's right.
Free. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, we'll talk more about it later.
I want to remind you about the City Council meeting. The next one we'll have is Monday, March the 4th. At 5:00 p.m. in the large conference room at City Hall, we will have the work session, and then following that at 7 p.m. we'll have the formal meeting in council chambers right there in City Hall, historic City Hall. That is Monday, March the 4th. And then the following day, what do we have, Wayne? The County Commissioners meeting.
We have County Commissioners meeting the following morning, and that will be March 5th. That will be at 8 o'clock with the briefing and 9 o'clock for the meeting itself.
We'd love to have you join us at both.
That we would. So plan on attending the City Council meeting and then the County Commissioners meeting the following morning right here on the 4th floor of the Wayne County Courthouse.
That's right.
Today's trivia question.
Yes.
I'm not sure exactly how I want to word this, but you remember the phrase, "Run, Forrest, run"?
Yes, I do.
That's from the movie Forrest Gump. Of course, that was a blockbuster hit.
Oh, gosh, yes. It was
sure
a great
it was.
movie.
Who did the running in the movie? You saw Forrest running?
So it wasn't Tom Hanks? It wasn't Tom Hanks?
No.
Really?
No.
He had a stand-in?
Mm-hmm. He had a stand-in.
He had a run-in. Yeah.
And while you may not know this person's name, you certainly know who he is. Identify the person that did the running for Tom Hanks in the movie Forrest Gump.
Well, you got to, I mean, that's wide open, so you got to give us a little hint who might have done the running for him.
Well, if I gave you a clue at all,
we
it
would
would
know
give it
it,
away.
really?
Yes, yes. All right, now you may not know his name.
Right.
But you can identify this person.
Okay.
In fact, that may not even be a good trivia question. I probably should just go ahead and tell you.
Well, why don't you tell us?
No, I don't want to do that.
You don't want to tell us?
It was his brother, Bob.
Really?
Yeah.
Tom Hanks' brother, Bob?
Yep.
Why did he run for him? Why did he run, Forrest, run?
Well, it could have been several reasons. I'm not really sure of all the reasons involved, but part of it had to do with insurance.
Interesting.
They didn't want Tom to hurt himself. They didn't care about Bob.
I don't know Bob, though. Why would we have known him?
You would have known it was his brother. And I could have taken, a relative or a brother or somebody like that. Yeah, instead of Jack.
That's pretty neat.
Nobody knows Jack.
Is that his name, Jack?
No, his name was Bob.
Oh.
Yeah. See, nobody knows Jack.
But it's interesting to know that he had a person run in for him.
Yeah.
During the movie.
Yeah, he didn't do the running.
All righty.
It was his brother.
Well, Wayne, let's go to our interview with Goldsboro Partners Against Crime with Police Chief Jeff Stewart. He's going to talk to us along with the coordinator for GPAC, THERESA CHERO. She is the coordinator who's been putting this together along with Police Chief and a small staff over there. They've been organizing this program, and they're going to tell you all about it and keep you updated. That's up next. Joining me today is Police Chief Jeff Stewart, and we have the coordinator for Goldsboro Partners Against Crime, THERESA CHERO. Welcome, you all.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. We want to continue to share with our community what's happening with our Goldsboro Partners Against Crime, or GPAC. We're trying to keep these updates to the community coming out about every other week so they'll know what's happening. Chief, can you tell me in an overview, what is Goldsboro Partners Against Crime?
It's a combination of law enforcement officers, the community, and help me out here, what's the
court system.
And the court systems to come together and really identify the concerns and the problems that we're having, and identify certain groups or individuals that are causing, doing these crimes. And we can't watch everybody in the city, but we can certainly focus our attention on those individuals, organizations that are committing a lot of these violent acts. And
so that's what this is for repeat offenders, or people that continue to stay in the system and that continue to, to be involved in crime right here in our city over and over and over. Their names are continually brought up.
Yes.
Yeah, people that have been around and been reading the papers, you keep continually seeing the same names, similar type crimes, and that's what the GPAC program is designed to do. To go out there and bring these individuals in a setting and sit them down and deliver a deliberate message to them. I mean, we want to change their behavior, number one. We want them to be a successful part of our community. We want them to stop the crime, stop the violence, and as THERESA will talk about here in a few minutes, the community is going to be supportive and have opportunities for these individuals to take advantage of.
Well, THERESA, with him saying that, with Police Chief talking about the opportunities that these offenders, these individuals that are called in, they're offered a choice.
Definitely offered a choice. They have, there are numerous resources in the city of Goldsboro, whether it be employment assistance, even applying for a job, filling out a resume. I know my voice is going to go. Applying for a resume, healthcare needs, educational needs, substance abuse, assistance. There are a lot of resources that are out there. And what we decided is that we would pull these agencies in with us to, we can't give somebody a message, a direct message, and say, you need to stop this, and not have something, a backup plan for them.
To change their behavior.
Correct. So this is kind of their backup plan. But they also have to commit to the program, that they want to be part of this, that they want the assistance, and they're going to take advantage of the resources that are out there.
Will you both tell me a little more about who's involved in this particular program? I mean, we're calling it Goldsboro Partners Against Crime, but what do we mean by partners?
We have...
Well, I think, you take the first letter, Goldsboro. The city's involved in this. Correct. And I'm talking from the city manager, the council, law enforcement, and we're going to step it out. We've got the sheriff's department's involvement with it. We have all the law enforcement community. We have a lot of community members. THERESA told me a week ago that we had up to 25 different civilian organizations taking part in GPAC right now. So yeah, it's big, and we're looking for great things to happen with this program.
So there's 3 different pieces to this, I'm assuming. You've got the community.
Correct. The community and the agencies.
And the agencies, which are offering the resources.
Correct.
You've got the law enforcement side.
Yes.
And then you've got the court system.
Correct.
So how do all these 3 work together?
Well, the community and the agencies will work independently of the law enforcement. Law enforcement and the court system will work together, that if we have repeat offenders that keep coming back or they come up on our research, those are the ones that we want to kind of fast track through our court system.
So the court system is on board.
Yes.
Is this on the local level, or does it go higher up?
It goes all the way up to the federal level.
I mean, from the law enforcement side, our partnership, Theresa's reached out. We've got partnership with ATF, DEA. We have the U.S. attorneys on board. I mean,
Wow.
it's just not local law enforcement.
No, it's not.
It's state and federal.
Well, now, this is a program that is proven to work in many other cities, and the city that the Goldsboro and Goldsboro Police Department have been using as a model is High Point, correct?
Yeah, about 20 years ago, the chief at the time realized from a situation that happened in Boston, Massachusetts, called Operation Ceasefire, where they were having a lot of trouble with gangs, homicides, and he just took that information and made the High Point model that we know of today.
Right.
And it's been very successful over the past 15, 20 years, reducing crime up to 33%.
In that one city.
And we had the opportunity to actually go up there, council members, the city manager, Teresa and myself went and actually viewed one of their call-ins, and I was totally impressed.
What do they say is the overall, do they think, main reason that this particular program has worked through the years? Because this has been going on there for many years.
Well, I think it delivers a message to the individuals that have been committing crimes. You know, it says, listen, we want you to be part of this community, but you've got to stop what you're doing. You know, and like Teresa alluded to a few minutes ago, they give them options, you know, educational assistance, you know, jobs, but they're serious about it. And to include, you know, if you decide to continue on that life of crime, you could possibly be facing a prison sentence, not only in state prison, in federal prison as well.
Wow, so you are put at the top of the list if you choose to continue the life of crime.
Correct.
But the
Correct.
focus is we want to help you change your life.
Yes.
We want to help you make
that's
positive choices.
That's the main point of this whole program, is to get them to change their life.
And be productive citizens.
Correct. They
in
have
your
to
own
take
community.
that initiative.
That's our goal. You know, we're successful if we can change the individual. That's the way I view it. You know, it's easy to lock somebody up, but we want them to be part of our community, part of our city.
So they've got a choice to make, basically, is that they can choose to continue the life of crime, and if so, you're going to be fast-tracked to the top.
Correct.
And you'll be moving a lot quicker into seeing a district attorney or further on up the list.
Nobody really changes the way they do their job, the way they conduct business. The police department is not out there actively looking for an individual to do something. But if this individual is involved and he is identified as the person that committed this crime, they will be charged, they will be brought in the system, and that case will be heard. Instead of waiting, you know, a year, 18 months, that's going to be heard as soon as it's possible to hear that case.
And that's going to make a difference instead of them sitting around for a year,
Correct.
6 months, 18 months.
Because our court system is backed up.
Of course they are.
But we're not asking for every offender to be fast-tracked. We're asking for the ones that we gave the option, that were called in, given the resources, and then they chose either to take those resources or not take them. And then the ones that don't take them are the ones that we're going to be focused on.
Well, tell me, what is a call-in? You just mentioned call-in, and you were talking about the resources. Who is there, and what is a call-in all about?
A call-in consists of people from all different parts of the court system, from the federal down to the state level to local law enforcement, including our district attorney's office. We will have one message for these offenders, that we know your history, we know what you've done. If you keep these actions up, this could be your recourse. If you end up before DEA or you end up before ATF, this is what could happen. We're giving a strong, direct message to them. The community side is going to come in and they're going to let them know, listen, we understand you've had problems, but this is your chance to change. and give them the resources that are out there.
So you're offering them opportunities right
Correct.
then and there on the spot.
Right then and there on the
Are
spot.
they individualized?
No, they'll be called in as a group.
But are the resources individualized for each person? Like if one person, if their issue is they mainly need job resources and job skills, and
Yes,
another person
yes.
may be addicted to some kind of substance or
Sure.
drug. So they're
Yes.
individualized
Absolutely.
to help each
Yes.
individual person
Yes.
to make the best choices they can make.
Absolutely.
And that's all coming from agencies within our own community.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
I didn't have to reinvent the wheel. I just
Right.
had to find out who was out there and what they were offering.
Because we have quite a few things,
We
as you
sure
found
do.
out, that are
We
offered
sure
right
do.
here. So you've brought all this collectively together in
Yes.
one room.
Yes.
To be able to stand before these offenders and say, these are your opportunities right here to change your life
That's
and make
true.
better choices
That's
for
true.
yourself and your family.
I think one thing that needs to be talked about as well is once these individuals are called in, you know, they say, well, I'm going to leave Goldsboro, Wayne County. It doesn't work that way. If they go to Lenoir County, Wilson County, anywhere in North Carolina, she will still be tracking them, so they can still be brought back.
So it's not a matter of running away.
No.
It's about changing behaviors,
Changing
changing your
behavior.
lifestyle. That's our goal.
Well, the overall goal is that very thing, and that is to change behavior. What do we
Absolutely.
want it to change for our city?
Well, for one, we want to reduce violence, the violent crime that we had. We had a spike this year.
Yes.
I'm not here to deny that. I mean, we had 12 homicides last year, and that was a lot for the city of Goldsboro. You know, and that's why all the citizens, the city, leadership came together, and this is what the result is the GPAC model.
Because we have met with, for months now, we have met with
Several
citizens
different
right here in
groups.
our community, asking, what do you want to see the police department do? What do you want to see the city do?
Correct.
Well, you know, what are some of your opinions and options and messages that you want to give? And you listened.
And a lot of
And we
people.
listened, but we also, they understand too that we can't do our job without them. That we need the help of the citizens and the communities and the different agencies. So, because we're all working toward the same thing.
Same goal. Exactly. Well, so it looks like we know what the message is. We know who's involved now. Where are we at this point? I know you've recently had a meeting. Can you tell me more about that meeting?
That was law enforcement entities from the federal down to the state and the local level with the court system as well. And we were just discussing what each of our roles would be. It was more of a training session
Right,
for law enforcement, especially this is our first time doing a call-in. We've viewed one, but we haven't been on the other side of the table.
And am I correct in saying there's several other cities around us, from Fayetteville to different ones, Kempston and others, that are doing something
Yes.
very similar to this?
Absolutely.
They're getting started and they're wanting to put this together as well. So some are coming to show us how they've done it.
Yes.
And then you all take this and mold it to what best fits Goldsboro.
That's what we've
Is that
been
correct?
doing the
I
last
want to
few
think when we
months.
came back from High Point, we would have been the 23rd or 24th city
In North Carolina.
to do a High Point model program in North
Okay.
Carolina.
Wow.
So the network is out there. Again, you know, if they commit a crime here and they received a call-in letter and they intended to call in, you know, we're watching them all over the state of North Carolina.
Well, we've got a brochure here that you all have created and you've got put out in the community for people to learn more about what GPAC is, or Goldsboro Partners Against Crime.
Absolutely.
It's also on the City of Goldsboro's website.
Yes.
You can click on that and you can find out additional information about GPAC and how you can be involved. If there are other people that want to be a part of this, Teresa, how do they go about that?
They can download the brochure. I've actually gotten emails. I had a phone call from a mother last week that's concerned about her son. He's 20 years old. He's been in trouble. He's working part-time, but he needs a full-time job. And she had called the police department because she's saying, I know there's things out there that can help him, but I don't know where to go. So I was able to direct her into different resources that are available to him.
So that is perfect. That is a perfect example how you can offer the resources, hopefully before they do get
Yes.
involved in a life of crime and end up in the wrong place.
And it's
Changing
about-
that behavior early on.
It should also be said that they don't have to wait until they get a notification or a call in. They can come up and ask for help and the
At any
help-
time.
And
The help is there.
We'll give it to him.
You'll connect them to the correct agency that can
Yes.
offer them those services. And volunteers, tell me about, you need volunteers as well to participate somewhat in this particular program, is that right?
Yes, I do.
What would these volunteers be doing? What could they do?
The volunteers could actually help run some of the community meetings, contact the different agencies, things like that. As you know, this is a full-time position.
Yes,
But the
this
law
is what you do
enforcement
nonstop.
side is very busy, and I would like to get a couple people in place that would take the initiative to step up with the community side of things, that we can set up these meetings and they'll do like follow-up phone calls, things like that. I have a couple that are very committed to this program, and that's where we're kind of at right now. But I also want people that have been out there that have offended, that have changed their life. I want them to come forward. I want them to speak to these offenders. You know, they've been there, done that.
That's right. Personal
And
experiences.
Then also victims of crimes, whether it be a parent that lost a child or somebody that had been shot or hurt in the city, and they want to tell their story. Because all of that makes a difference.
Absolutely, absolutely.
When you put a face with the story,
it changes everything, doesn't it? Makes it about you and what has happened to you
Correct.
personally. Well, Theresa, what number do they call if they want to get in touch with you to find out whether it's what resources they can use for themselves or their child or their neighbor or their friend, or if they want to volunteer? What number should they call?
That 919-580-4305, and that's also on the website.
Perfect. And the website is goldsboronc.gov. If you look right on that website, you'll see GPAC, or Goldsboro Partners Against Crime. You click right on that, and it'll take you straight to this brochure and many other things about Goldsboro Partners Against Crime. It explains our initiative and program. Thank you for listening today. We hope you've learned more about GPAC and what's happening right here in our community to fight crime. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having us, Ken.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. We're back, and let me make a correction here very quickly. The Wayne County Commissioners will not meet on the 5th. There's been a conflict. So there is a change. Now, the Wayne County Commissioners will meet on the 12th instead. They changed their meeting from the 5th to the 12th. So on the 12th of the month of March, you can enjoy the Commissioners' meeting by coming up to the 4th floor of the Wayne County Courthouse, with the briefing beginning at 8 o'clock and the meeting itself beginning at 9 o'clock. That's a.m. 8 o'clock for the briefing, 9 o'clock for the meeting on March 12th, Wayne County Commissioners.
Exactly.
There. Sorry about that.
City Council meeting is still on schedule.
That's right. That's on the 4th, right?
That's right.
All right.
That's
There
right.
you go. I have a new trivia question.
All right, tell us what it is.
All right. The category for today's trivia question is art.
Art. Okay.
A-R-T, art. Now, by what name do we better know the work of art known as, originally, arrangement in black and gray? Arrangement in black and gray. And here's the hint. If you know the work of art by its common name,
Right.
you also know who painted it.
So you're asking us who the painter was or what the name was? Or both?
Either one, either or. If you knew who the painter was, you would probably know the painting,
Okay.
because his name is part of the common name of the painting.
Ah, okay.
Arrangement in black and gray. So think about all your paintings that were painted in black and gray, and it'll come to you just like,
That.
yeah, like something like that.
That's
Yeah,
right.
like, yeah.
So think about that as we move along today.
Arrangement in black and gray.
All right. We want to remind you this weekend at the Paramount Theater is The Music Man. Stage Struck Children's Theater's production of The Music Man. It's a musical. If you are interested, you can go to GoldsBoroParamount.com and purchase tickets, or you can go to the Paramount in person at their box office, purchase them there. You can also call the Stage Struck office. They will have tickets available as well. And the following weekend is Cinderella the Ballet. From Goldsboro Ballet, they'll be putting on that production also at the Paramount Theater. That's March 8th through 10th. So the Music Man this coming weekend, and the following weekend is Cinderella the Ballet.
That's right. So pack your pirouette and take your tutu down to the theater and have a good time, right?
That's right. Music Man and Cinderella following that.
That's exactly right. The annual Senior Games Health Fair coming up at the at Seegers Senior Center coming up on March 7th from 10 until 12:30. Last year they had over 30 vendors, and this year they're going to have even more than that. This is a big event. Lots of fun. Free health screening for seniors will be available, and seniors will be offered a light lunch. There's going to be prizes and all that kind of good stuff, and it's going to be a lot of fun for seniors. The Senior Games Health Fair. Call Aaron if you have any questions about it at 705-1785, 705-1785.
Wayne, I've got some home remedies that I'm going to ask you, and I want you to tell me if you think they are fact or myth.
Oh, really?
Yes, they're actually called weird home remedies. So think out of the box a little bit here.
Fact or myth?
Are they fact or are they a myth?
Okay.
Okay.
So it's either a hit or a myth.
That's right.
Okay.
A bowl of onions in a room wards off the flu. Is that a fact or a myth?
That's a myth.
Ding, correct.
Oh, is it?
Correct.
Whoa, boy, I'm good.
Okay.
All right,
He's got
go ahead.
1 point.
Wait a minute. Say it again. A room?
A bowl, listen up,
What?
listen up.
What?
A bowl of
What?
onions
A bowl
in a
of onions,
room
right.
wards off the flu.
Wards off the flu, which means...
You will not get the flu if you have a bowl of onions in there.
But that's false.
That's a false. That's a
false.
myth.
That's a myth.
So that is not true.
All
So
right,
you can
well,
put your
I've never-
onions up.
I've never bowled with an onion anyway, so there you go.
There you go. All right, number 2.
Yeah.
Baking soda reduces the pain of urinary tract infections.
What?
I will say that again.
Okay.
Baking soda.
Baking soda.
I'm assuming you're supposed to eat it.
Yeah,
Reduces the pain
Right.
of urinary tract infection. Fact or myth?
I know baking soda does a lot of
Yes,
good
it
stuff.
does.
It's a tremendous product,
Yes.
but that's a myth.
Meh, that's a fact.
That's a fact.
It is. I don't have any details of how much you're supposed to take or how you ingest it, but I'm assuming you eat some of it.
Baking soda.
Yeah, I don't know how
Well
much or
done.
anything. We'll have to
Okay.
get back to you on that.
All
But
right.
that is a fact.
Okay.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Honey helps heal wounds. Honey
I don't know, honey.
helps heal wounds. Fact or myth?
That's a myth.
Nah, that's a fact.
That's a fact.
That is a fact.
Well, how?
I
what?
don't know. I do not know. All I know is it helps heal wounds.
It helps heal wounds. All right, so you either eat it or put it on the wound,
Yeah,
right?
and I have no idea.
Okay, but it works.
It works.
I'm surprised.
Whichever
at
way
that.
you do it.
Okay.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Ice packs under your armpit bring down a high fever.
Woo!
Go figure. Ice packs under your armpit, I guess instead of a thermometer.
Okay.
You use the thermometer first to take the temperature.
Okay.
But if you have a high fever, putting an ice pack under your armpit will bring down your high fever.
That cannot possibly be true. That's
So
not-
you say that is a myth.
That's a myth.
Wrong. That's a fact.
What?
Never heard of that.
That's
So
really...
it's a fact that you can put an ice pack under your armpit, so
Well,
this tells me, and bring down a high fever.
I never.
Well, you know, you've heard of people actually getting in a tub of ice cold water
Yeah.
or pretty cold water
Oh,
to bring down a
okay.
fever. So I guess this is the same thing. You're just putting it under your armpits. An ice pack.
So if you
How
don't have
about
an
that?
ice pack, what do? Put a cube under there?
I don't know. I do not know. All right, next.
The whole ice tray or something.
A copper penny,
Copper penny.
putting it over a bee sting provides relief from pain and swelling.
Oh, I know this one.
What is it?
Oh, this one's true.
Wrong. That's a myth.
That's a myth?
That is a myth. We've heard that for years, but that is not true.
You mean I missed that one?
You did. Good gracious in the morning. Next, licorice helps heal sore throats.
Oh, I know this one.
What is it?
I have no idea. Wait a
Guess.
minute. Yes, that's true.
That is true.
Is it true?
Yes, you were
Licorice?
guessing, I know, but
Yeah.
licorice helps heal sore throats.
Licorice?
Licorice.
Licorice.
Just a couple more.
Sore throats, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Duct tape gets rid of warts. Never heard such a question. Duct tape gets rid of warts.
Oh, you mean like tape? That's
Duct
duct tape.
tape.
Duct tape. Okay.
D-U-C-T.
I could just picture a tape, a duct being
No, not a
taped.
duct. Duct tape
Duct tape. Okay.
gets rid of warts.
Gets rid of warts. Oh, I know this one.
What?
That's true.
You're right.
It is? Get out of here.
I'm
that
not
can't
kidding.
possibly be
I
true.
don't know how you do it or why, but it says it's a fact.
You use it with honey.
I would research all of these things before I actually follow through with any of them.
I don't know about that.
All right, last one.
Okay.
Toothpaste takes the itch out of bug bites. Like if you have a mosquito bite or something
Yeah,
like that, if you
yeah.
put toothpaste on it, will it get rid of the itch?
Oh, okay. I misunderstood. I thought maybe the bugs were brushing.
No, Wayne.
Okay.
You're itching because you've been bit by a bug.
Yeah, yeah.
If you put toothpaste on it, will it make the itch go away?
Oh, I know this one. That's
What?
false.
Wrong. That is true, and I hope so because my mother certainly did that to me as a child.
Oh, really? She rubbed you
Yes.
with toothpaste?
No, she would, like if you had a little mosquito bite or something, she'd put a little bit of toothpaste on there.
Oh, okay.
She thought it had to be a certain kind, and I'll mention no names, but she thought it had to be a certain kind, and I don't know why.
Pepsodent.
I don't think that was the one
You'll
she
wonder
used.
where the itch went when you brush your sore with Pepsodent.
Oh my goodness, how fun is that?
That was fun.
That was fun.
That was fun.
Home remedies, fact or fiction.
Yeah, boy, I know I did really well on
You
that.
did do pretty good on
Did
some
I?
of them.
Well, yeah, but that was, yeah.
Well, why don't we go next to our, we have a couple interviews. I know the Paramount Theater is one of them,
Yeah.
but let's go and see what they've got to talk about happening here in our community.
I'm Vincent Bridgers, and I'm with the Paramount Theater of Goldsboro, North Carolina, and I'm here with Debbie Hall Grady of the Heritage Dance Foundation. We're here to talk about Animals in Wonderland, an event coming up here at the Paramount later in March. Welcome, Debbie.
Hi, thank you for having us today.
Thank you for coming. Of course, I should have mentioned, I guess I've got Debbie and guest.
Yes, this is one of my friends from the show. This is Tommy Dalmatian.
Well, can you tell us a little bit about the event, what your goal is here? I know you're doing it as a fundraiser. I'm looking forward to it a lot.
Yes, the Heritage Dance Foundation and Dr. Charles Swirling are producing a wonderful, originally written musical play called Animals of Wonderland, and the purpose of this is to raise money for our local animal shelter and for our local Humane Society. It's going to be a wonderful event that children and adults will enjoy. We will have, of course, many of our animal friends like Tommy the Dalmatian and many characters, local talent from the area. I know Jeff Haltz is part of this show. Kim Best from the city of Goldsboro is part of the show. Miss North Carolina will be here. Encore singing group, local singing group will be in the show. It's just going to be a lot of fun, and we're running 2 shows on March 30th. We'll have a matinee at 2, and then we'll have another show at 7 p.m. that night.
Well, that's great. And I also hear that you're going to be doing something a little bit in the morning as well.
Yes, we are going to have some events in the morning from 11 to 1 right across the street from the Paramount, where they usually have the Center Street Jam in the summer. We will have some events there for children and adults. We will have free horse-drawn trolley car rides around town. We'll also have some special guests, our animal characters, some of them from the play. And we will also have some real animals there. I know we have some rabbits and dogs and cats and some surprises. So children will really enjoy that. In addition, there will be some representatives here from the animal shelter, and they will set up an adoption station and also disseminate information about the animal shelter and how to adopt a pet. And we'll also have a booth for the Humane Society. I don't know how many people in the community realize, but they do give away dog and cat food to families who are struggling economically right now and need some help feeding their animals. In addition, they also have a mobile unit, and they go around and give vouchers for spaying and neutering. So we hope to be able to fund some of their programs. And in addition, for the animal shelter, we would like to fund some spaying and neutering. Right now, there are over 4,000 animals that are euthanized every year in Wayne County, and spaying and neutering is really the answer to that
Can help to stop that,
situation. Yes, and so we want to help the animal shelter fund that program. But in addition, if anyone has visited the animal shelter, you'll realize there are not any fenced-in play areas for the animals to be let out of the cages. The only way an animal can be taken out is by an adult, and there's just not enough staff to do that with so many animals in the shelter. So we would like to use some of the funding to create play areas. Some people would call it runs, but we're calling it pod-like play areas. We'd like to fence in and cement those areas so that the animals can be let out some during the day to play and run around and stretch their legs. So we're hoping that all the animal lovers in Wayne County will come out and support this event. As we said earlier, it will be held here at the Paramount on March 30th. And we really anticipate that children will enjoy this very much. So we hope a lot of parents and grandparents will bring their children out. Of course, it just happens to be Easter weekend,
Right.
so we've sort of tied in the Easter and animal theme together so that we encourage our children that are coming that day to wear either their Easter outfits, which I know mothers will love that because they get second opportunity to wear them.
Gets more use.
Exactly. Or if some of the children have animal costumes, maybe from Halloween or something, we encourage them to wear their animal costumes and or their Easter outfits. We will also have opportunities for the children that morning from 11 to 1. In addition to the trolley car rides, the children will also have a arts and craft booth, and we have some very fun people running that booth. So we're excited because they'll be making some arts and crafts that are related to animals. And we have vendors. Vendors are invited to come out that day. They will need to fill out a vendor application, which is located on our website, and that's www.ballroom.org. And also, if anyone would like more information, they may contact me at 919-222-8320. or at my email, which is debbiegrady@att.net.
That's great. It sounds like you have a really, really fun event coming up with a great benefit for the community. That sounds fantastic. Well, Tommy, do you have anything to add? Of course, tickets for this event are available right here at the theater. You can get them online at goldsboroparamount.com. You can order them over the phone at 919-583-8432. Or you can drop by the theater right here. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it's $25 for adults and $15 for children 12 and under. Is that correct?
That's correct. And
All
if
right.
we have anyone in our community who may want to help some children who maybe couldn't afford to come to the show, we'll be glad to have them to donate money to serve that purpose. We are going to be selling program ads, and we will be selling sponsorships for this event. So if we have any patrons out there or businesses that would like to be part of the event and support this effort, then we encourage you to contact me.
Well, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. I would like to add one thing I left out. Dr. Charles Swirling actually wrote this play, so it is original, and many of the events will be tied to local events here in Goldsboro, so I think it'll be fun for the adults and the children. But all of our characters will be dancing, singing, and in animal costumes, so it's going to be a really good event.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
It will be.
Well, don't miss Animals in Wonderland right here at the Paramount Theater on March 30th. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Joining me today is Dr. John Blackwell. He is the Vice President for Institutional Advancement at Mount Olive College. Welcome to the show.
Nice to be with you.
Well, Dr. Blackwell, you are relatively new to the area.
Almost a year?
Almost a year. Tell us a little more about your background and how you ended up in this area.
I'm an ordained United Methodist pastor. I was serving as Dean of the San Diego School of Christian Studies in San Diego and a minister at a Methodist church there. My daughter was a student at Kansas Wesleyan University. She was on the search committee to select their new president. They selected Phil Kerstetter.
Yes, they did.
And he was in San Diego for a visit, and my daughter said, I think you and Phil Kerstetter would hit it off. So I went to dinner with Phil and Mary Kerstetter and my daughter and my wife Nancy, and we did. And then he invited me to Kansas Wesleyan University for a book signing, and we started talking, and before long he offered me a position at Kansas Wesleyan and asked me to be his dean of the chapel. So I worked with him there, and then y'all stole him from us.
Yes, we did.
And he invited me to come and give his first commencement address, in Carnegie Arena, and
That was your first time in the Mount Olive area?
That was my first time to North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
And met people, met trustees, faculty members, administrators, and Phil and I began to ask, could we pull off working together again? And we did pull that off a year ago.
And here you are.
Here I am.
So now you are the Vice President for Institutional Advancement. Tell me a little more about what that is.
Well, institutional advancement is the chief fundraising arm of the school. So we oversee the annual fund. We just launched a capital campaign. We need to build some more infrastructure. We have alumni relations in our office, church relations in our office, so I do a lot with all those areas. We write grants. You name it.
You're very busy.
Very.
Well, now it sounds like to me you're an ordained minister.
I am.
You are the chief director here for fundraising.
For fundraising.
I have heard through the grapevine you write books.
I do. It's my hobby.
You play the piano.
A little bit.
What else do you do? Have I named them all?
I go to the Pope Wellness Center and work out several times.
Well, there you go. There you go.
I like to travel. Writing's a hobby. It keeps my mind from going numb. So I write books on the Gospels. I have books out on Matthew, Mark, and John, working on one in Luke right now, and some other books too.
Well, it sounds like you're a busy man.
I am.
Well, tell me more about a couple things that are coming up at Mount Olive College. I believe there's a conference coming up.
There's a conference coming up on Monday, the 4th. It's Faith in Rural Life. And I want to get this title right.
Of course. Down to Earth Ministry, Growing Food, Growing Faith, Growing Community. The college is interested in making connections between the church, between learning, and between community, agriculture, nursing. And so we're having a conference once in a while. We try to get above the forest and look at the trees. The Reverend Dr. Will Williman is coming from Duke. He was a United Methodist bishop. He was also dean of the chapel there. He's going to be the keynote speaker. He's published about 60 books. I'd say he knows a thing or two
he's the real
on
deal.
this topic. It
He's
sounds
the real
like it.
deal, yeah.
So if people are interested in participating or coming to see this, how do they go about it?
They can go to moc.edu, and there is a link there. They could call Ashley Stroud.
Okay.
And her phone number is 919-635-2787. Either of those. It's only $10 and a can of food for someone who's hungry.
$10 and a can of food for someone who's hungry. That's wonderful.
That's
All
it.
right. One last thing, you have on March 14th, you have a concert coming up?
Yes, our next big concert. It's the Matrix Percussion Trio from Nashville. They are a fabulous, complex, delightful group of three. They play all kinds of percussion. Kids would love it, so would grandparents and everybody in between.
So how do people come to see it? What do they need to do?
March 14th, they just need to show up at the Assembly Hall on 205 Wooten Street. $10 at the door, and but it will be a rhythmic extravaganza.
Wonderful. Well, this was quick, but I tell you what, you've given us a lot of great information about Mount Olive College and about you, and welcome to our community.
My honor. I love being with you.
Thank you so much. I hope you've learned more about Mount Olive College.
And we're back on WGTV today. It's the 28th of February. Thank you for being with us.
Yes, and we have come up with a few answers and reasons to why some of these home remedies that we talked about earlier in the show work.
Oh, that's what you were doing. I was watching the interviews and you were over here working.
I was. I was working
out.
so hard to find out why some of these things that were facts
Okay.
are actually true.
Okay, well, enlighten me.
All right, you know when we talked about the baking soda and how it reduces pain of a urinary tract infection?
Yes, yes.
Well, here's the way you take that. You dissolve 1 teaspoon baking soda in some water, and you drink that whole cup of water.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
You can repeat it every 10 hours if you have severe pain. But they recommend if you don't have severe pain to just do it one time. So you dissolve 1 teaspoon baking soda in water, and you drink that down, and that's supposed to help reduce the pain of a urinary tract infection.
Uh-huh. And it seems that I recall somewhere along the way that that could have deplete the potassium if you have too much.
If you take too much. That's why you really don't want to do that more often than every 10 hours.
So my chemistry is paying off here.
Your chemistry is paying off. Yes, it is. The next one was, we said, honey helps heal wounds. And that was
Yeah.
a true story. So the doctor says there's medical grade honey that you can purchase. And if you purchase the medical grade honey, you put that on your skin, you dab it over the wound, and then you cover the wound up with a non-sticky bandage.
Okay.
And that will help heal the wounds. But that's medical grade honey, not like you
Okay.
just, go to the grocery store and just get some basic honey.
Get a bowl of a bottle of sous vide.
I don't believe that's going to work.
It's not
the
gonna
same.
work,
You
huh?
need medical grade honey.
Medical grade.
Yes.
Okay.
Ice pack under the armpit, bringing down the high fever was true. Well, here's
Okay.
why. Under the armpit, it has a blood supply that is very near the skin. That's why the ice packages make the blood cool
Okay.
a lot quicker.
Because your blood is constantly moving and circulating, and it's
circulating.
okay. I got it, and then it cools the blood faster.
That's right.
That makes sense.
That's right. Let's see. Licorice helps heal sore throats, and that was true. Because licorice breaks down the cortisol, which is a stress hormone. Now, this is not your typical licorice that you go to the candy store and get. This is not candy licorice we're talking about.
Okay. All right.
No, it is basic licorice. Let's see what it says.
That's available in a tea, I believe.
It is. They have tea bags, licorice tea bags,
Uh-huh.
and they say that you can also, they encourage you to drink licorice tea. Yes.
Oh,
But
okay.
a fact about that is if you have high blood pressure,
Yeah.
you do not need to drink the licorice tea or eat licorice.
Oh.
Because
okay.
it's not good for you if you have high blood pressure. Stay away
Okay.
from licorice.
Well, stay away from it.
And remember, that is not the candy form.
Not the candy. It's not your candy form.
Yes, it's not like strawberry licorice. No.
All right.
Duct tape gets rid of warts. Remember that was true?
I remember that. How?
The tape irritates the skin and stimulates the body. It's your immune system to fight off the wart virus. Go figure.
Wow.
Yeah, something in the duct tape. It irritates
know-
your skin and stimulates the body's immune system to fight off the wart virus.
Well, I know that when you stick duct tape on you and then you leave it there for a little while,
You have all kinds of
rash and that
stickiness.
kind of
Yeah,
thing, so your body's reacting. I guess that's it.
That's right.
How about that?
And the very last one,
yes.
my mom was right when she used to put toothpaste on a bug bite to make the itch go away.
Okay.
Some toothpaste contain peppermint oil. And
Oh.
that peppermint oil is what makes the itch go away from a bug bite. Good job,
How
Mom.
about that?
That's right. Good job.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was fun. That was fun. All right. Did I have a trivia question?
Did you have a trivia question? I don't remember.
I don't either. I think we did that, didn't we?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Oh, arrangement and black and gray.
Yes. That was
Okay.
it, Wayne Alley.
The category is art, and the name of the work is Arrangement in Black and Gray. And if you remember James Whistler,
Yes.
he painted his mother.
Yes.
Well, I mean, he painted the portrait of his mother.
Right, of course.
Sitting in the rocker. You know, she was from North Carolina.
Was she really?
She was really from North Carolina. James Whistler painted Whistler's mother, and that was known formally
Right.
as Arrangement in Black and Gray.
Well, how about that? All of you artists out there probably knew that already.
Sure they did. Whistler's mother
Whistler's mother.
from North Carolina.
Great. Good job. Thank you, Wayne.
Anytime.
Well, I believe that just about wraps it up for today.
That does wrap it up.
Thank you for being with us. And if you have things and events that you would like to share on WGTV, you can email us where, Wayne?
You can email us at wgtv@waynegov.com.
That's right. We'll be glad to share your events with the community. We hope you are learning more and more about all the activities that are happening right here locally, because we want you to stay informed.
That's right. So join us every day at 7 o'clock right here Monday through Friday as we repeat the program each day at noon, and then again at 5:30, and then again later in the evening. And then, of course, you can catch it on the weekends as well.
That's right.
So join us every morning at 7 o'clock. We'll be right here on WGTV today. And until then, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best, and we're your hometown connection for news and information.